Halloween is over, but we've got another event in Destiny giving us one last opportunity to chase some of the event weapons from this past year, while also getting some endgame materials and armor to set us up for Renegades. And that's not just a blanket statement, there are actually materials you can earn from this event that are only usable when Renegades launches. So in today's video, I'll be completely covering the current event, Call to Arms, breaking down exactly how the event will work, what kind of loot is actually earnable during this event, and most importantly, how to earn the awesome helmet ornament before the end of the event. I'm also going to cover some extra tips that you can use to help you earn more points during the event, so keep watching for that. Call to Arms is going to be active for the next 2 weeks, so you have a decent amount of time to grind the weapons you're looking for if there's still a specific role on anything that you want, and there's plenty of time to grind your score in the community competition for all of these cosmetic rewards. So as always, if you find this event guide helpful, please leave a like and let me know in the comments what you'll be grinding for. While editing this video though, I saw some posts about tier 6 weapon drops when you receive a holofoil weapon as a reward. If it should be tier 5, it's actually dropping as a tier 6. I haven't managed to get one of these yet, but from everything that I can see, there is functionally no difference between a tier 5 and a tier 6, and this seems to just be a visual bug. Now upon loading in, you're going to be met with the usual event banner telling you all about the rewards that you can earn, including the earnable cosmetics. Unlike other events, the quest has been immediately placed into your inventory, and it tells you to visit Devrim, who is in the tower for a change and not the EDZ. Here in the tower, he will have a pretty nice looking space, just like Eva, for the duration of this event. And I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty sick. Interacting with Devrim and grabbing the next quest step will task you with opening the daily shipment and doing a Call to Arms event activity. Now before continuing with the quest, this is the best opportunity to attune to a specific event weapon. This will increase the drop rate of the focused weapon, helping you fill out your collection. It will automatically select the crossbow, but you can change it to any of the weapons if there's something else that you want. Underneath the weapon attunement section is the possible rewards for this event. All of the cosmetics, the emblem, the shader, everything. But I'll cover that in a minute. Jumping out of his inventory, the daily shipment is back down the stairs and off to the left hand side. Opening this will give you a bunch of loot immediately, but opening it every other day will give you varying amounts of loot depending on your current event rank points. I'll explain what the points are soon, but for now, the next requirement for the quest is to complete an event activity. You can find these either by going to the portal and picking one of the various portal modes and looking for the Call to Arms engram next to the mission, or go over to the event tab, moving down to play now, and this will give you an overview of every activity available for this event. As far as I can tell, these 5 missions will not change throughout the event. So there won't be an easier strike, there won't be a different Pinnacle Ops activity. These are the 5 missions for the event. It's possible the solo ops might change from Dread to Cabal, but it's going to remain salt mines, and we won't know if this will actually happen until day 2. At first, some of these will be unavailable until you progress the quest, so for now, pick whichever activity, being solo ops or Crucible, and complete it. Now while you're setting up the modifiers for one of the activities, a really nice change and something exclusive to the event activities is when picking your modifiers, every possible challenge and boon modifier is available, allowing you to build craft freely and pick whichever modifiers you want to run. Now in order to complete the current quest step and progress the quest, you have to receive an event weapon as a drop. It may take you multiple runs to receive a drop, so keep running Call to Arms activities until you receive something. Once you do manage to land yourself an event weapon drop, the next step of the quest will require you to claim the rank 1 reward from the event pass, which is usually just a trail effect. And if you're being nosy like me and want to take a peek at the rest of the pass, you're gonna see we actually have 40 event ranks to progress through. This is gonna take a lot of grinding, so starting sooner will make it feel like less of a pain. The reward pass actually has some pretty cool things in it this time. We have some holofoil versions of the event weapons, a couple of cosmetics like a ghost shell sparrow in a ship, as well as a shader, a finisher, and an ornament for new Malpays. Now once you've claimed your reward, the next quest step will require you to complete one of the daily challenges. You can see a list of the daily challenges available on the right hand side of the event rewards tab. These are unique to each player, so take a look at your own list and pick one of the easier ones to complete. But once you do manage to complete a daily, claim it and then head back to Devrim in the tower to finish the quest. Doing this is going to open up the remaining activities for you to start running. Now I want to cover the rewards from this event. The focus of this event is to earn all of the event weapons that have come and gone throughout the year of Edge of Fate. These are all of the weapons from events like Arms Week, Heavy Metal, and even the event active for the release week of Ashen Iron. The weapons include Submersion, the Stasis Heavy Crossbow, Romantic Death, the Void Waveframe GL, Folded Root, the Rocket Launcher, Ribbon Tail, the Trace Rifle, Synacia, the Eager Edge Sword, the Spreadshot Hand Cannon, Phonotria Ferra, I butched that, but whatever, and Trackiness, the Rapid Fire Slug. As I mentioned earlier, you can use the menu at Devrim to attune to any of these weapons, which can be really helpful if you're still searching for a specific role. But it's important to know that attuning doesn't guarantee the weapon drop. It only improves the drop rate so that you're more likely to get the weapon you're searching for. Any of the call to arm activities that have the event engram as a reward can drop these weapons as an end of match completion reward. All of the drops during the event will also match the reward tier of your account, meaning everything can drop as tier 5 if your power is 450 or higher. Apart from the weapons available, there is also a community competition that will reward additional cosmetic items based on your own performance at the end of the event. Everyone will be rewarded with the initial event emblem for completing the quest line, but then at the end of the event, additional rewards will be handed out. We have the Transmat effect, a clean looking shader, the awesome universal helmet ornament, which adds a visual effect that can be enhanced by earning more points in the current and future Call to Arms events, as well as an emblem that players can flex after this is over. Each of these cosmetics can be earned based on the number of competitor points that you obtain during the event. You are able to see your current predicted points in the scoreboard section of the event tab. I'm saying predicted points because as more players earn points and compete with each other, the points you earn will actually change. Only the points at the end of the event will affect your rewards. You can't earn any of the cosmetics during the event, you have to fight each other in order to place higher. If other players get a higher score than you, then you could be moved down a tier and be earning less points. So you have to constantly visit the scoreboard to check how many points you will earn at the end of the event. Now you can earn points by finishing any of the activities with a high score. The higher your score compared to other players, the more points you will earn. All 5 of the available activities are visible here, and you can see your score versus what the rest of the community has achieved, as well as roughly what score you need in order to get the next set of points. By playing a mix of everything, you improve the amount of points you can earn by spreading out the source, so you should definitely be playing a little bit of everything. Now the best way to increase the score you earn in an activity is adding portal modifiers. There are other factors that affect your score, like the total account power, but the biggest factor to affect score is modifiers. However, unlike what Destiny players typically do, which is run the bare minimum to reach the score threshold, for Call to Arms, you'll be wanting to run the maximum number of difficult modifiers so that you can get your score as high as possible. My biggest tip for earning score is don't be afraid to run a couple of boons. Even though they decrease your score, you'll be able to complete activities faster and easier with them active, even giving you the firepower that you need to run higher score boosting modifiers and pushing your score even higher. The modifiers I ran to get a really high score on salt mines were the following. I picked all the 4 and 5 score challenge modifiers available that didn't actively decrease my damage. For the player stakes, I picked all of the highest scoring modifiers available. This meant that we had to run a bow only loadout restriction, but if you have an extremely strong ability focused build, this modifier doesn't matter at all. And finally, in the boon and event modifiers, I picked bonuses that would increase the damage of my abilities, allowing me to make the activity feel really easy, even with so many negative modifiers active. If you find the modifiers that I've suggested too difficult, then gradually reduce the challenge until it is just doable. This way you can land the most amount of points possible. Once you've got a score that you're happy with, or if you want to avoid the grind for score till later on in the event, and you only want to farm weapons now, then you shouldn't make things as difficult as possible and instead go back to the usual mentality of just enough. You only have to add the modifiers that get you a powerful drop or a tier 5 drop, and because you have access to every modifier available, you can pick things like Slayer, Heavyweight, and Full Throttle to make farming things much faster. Now, not all weapons are made equal, and honestly, I don't think everything is worth chasing in this event. What I don't think is worth the effort from this event is Romantic Death, Folded Root, and Ribbon Tail. These weapons either have bad perk options, are outclassed by other alternatives in the exact same slot, or the archetype is just not in a good spot. What I do think is worth chasing while this event is active is Submersion, the Heavy Crossbow. The perks that it can roll with are pretty good, almost in line with Opaque Hourglass from the Desert Perpetual raid, but this doesn't require a raid team to obtain. In the left column, it can roll Auto-Loading Holster and Impulse Amplifier, and then Chill Clip and Aggregate Charge in the right column. The Spread Shot Hand Cannon, difficult to pronounce word Farah, sits in the energy slot, unlike the Trials Spread Shot Hand Cannon, and it has a number of good perks, notably Slide Shot and 1-2 Punch. The Rapid Fire Slug Trackiness feels nice with Assault Mag, and it can roll things like Lead from Gold in the left column, paired with Precision Instrument or Chill Clip in the right. And finally, the last weapon that I think should be in the back of your mind is Sinashir. As the only new gear Eager Edge sword available right now, you should definitely get your hands on a tier 5 roll if you don't already. So with all that said, good luck grinding score for the event. Definitely keep your eyes on social media because I'm sure someone out there will find a cheese or combination of modifiers that help farm score. So get to grinding, land some high scores, and as always, have a wonderful rest of your day.